Okay, I just want to go over the worksheet that we did in class today. I've got it up on the screen here, just if you're getting stuck with it. So we're actually looking at the real life application of matrices and how we could potentially use it. So here we're talking about a condo, a beach condo, and renting it out. So we've got listed in the rows each season. So talking spring, summer, winter, fall, and then the different rates that they charge. So weeknight, weekend, and weekly. So it's saying that during the summer, condos only available to rent on a weekly basis. So that's why these two elements are empty. So asking us to take this data, which is in table format here, and transfer it into a matrix and name the matrix A. Okay, so I'm going to start off with my capital A, and I know that it's going to be a 4 by 3, sorry, so 4 rows by 3 columns. So I'm simply going to take the 150, move across to my 175 and my 1000. So there's the start of my 3 columns. Moving down into the summer row, I'm going to put zeros in space of those empty spots because you do need to have an element in there. You can't just leave them blank. So 0, 0 and 1300. Coming down into my third row, 150, 175 and 1000. Again, just being really careful that you are taking the data correctly from the original table, transferring it to your matrix. So row 4, column 1, 100, 150 and 700. So right there is my 4 by 3 matrix A. So that's question 1 just there. So just, wants us to talk about in question 2 what the zeros represent. They're the placeholders for the fact that you can't rent anything other than a full week during summer in there. Okay, moving down to the next question. Okay, so showing number of weeknights, weekend nights and weeks that the beach condo was rented in each season during the first year. So again, in table format, we can see that summer in a weeknight is a 0 because it's not possible to make that kind of booking. Weekend, again, 0 in summer, and weekly has an 8. So it's asking us to create a 3 by 4 matrix. Now, we did this in class and we made the mistake of not reading the question properly. So it's not asking for a 4 by 3, it's asking for a 3 by 4. So we actually have to work on the data a little bit. So it's asked us to keep the seasons in the same order. So I'm going to actually write in the seasons so that I can make a bit more sense of it. So what I'm going to do is go, because I know that I'm going to need 3 rows, I'm thinking that it's going to be, again, weeknight in row 1, weekend in row 2 and weekly in row 3. Going across in column 1, I'm going to put my spring, again keeping it in that same order is what it wants us to do. I'm going to go shorthand here for summer, and it's talking fall and winter. I just want to double check that that is the same order as previously. Yeah, so spring, summer, fall and winter. Beautiful. And just taking that data now and putting it in there. So I can see for spring on a weeknight 15. I'm going to work right across my spring row there and go down to 14. Sorry, my eraser out. So again, working across that top row, so I'm 15. Weekend in spring was 14 and 3 for a weekly. 0, 0 and 8, because of course in summer you can only make a weekly booking. 4, 12 for a weeknight, 10 on a weekend, and 4 for a weekly. And last but not least, winter, we've got 9, 6 and 2. And close that up. Okay, so we can see here that we have done as the questions asked and made a 3 by 4 matrix. Beautiful. So that's what it's chasing there for question 3. So what are the columns and rows actually representing here in the data is what in this matrix is what it's asking. And we've already gone through and identified. So by labeling it to help us set it out, we've already identified that we're talking spring in this column, summer, fall or autumn, American page, and winter here. So then working across the rows, we've got weeknights, weekends, and weekly bookings there, which is different to our matrix A. So the next question is asking, and I'm going to move across to the page, if we can multiply A and B. So matrix A was a, let's go double check what it was, 4 by 3. And then B was a 3 by 4. Remember, it wanted us to write it as a 3 by 4. Now, obviously, this would be the reason why they wanted us to write it as a 3 by 4, so that we can multiply it. So, again, if the numbers in the middle have to be the same for us to be able to multiply it, the numbers on the outer are going to give us the resulting matrix side. So C, I'm going to call our final matrix C, is going to be a 4 by 4 matrix. Again, that covers us for question 6. Again, just following that rule that to multiply A by B, numbers in the middle here need to match, need to be the same, and then the numbers left over on the outer will give us the order of our answer matrix. Okay, so it wants us now to do the full working. Okay, so it wants us to do the full working. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to close that up and bring up this document so that I've actually got the matrix on the screen. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking for. Sorry, more fiddling around than I was anticipating. So I'm going to clean this off. Okay, so we've got matrix A and B there on that screen on the left. So to multiply them, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first row from matrix A and multiply it by the first column. So it's going to be the 150 multiplied by 15. 175 multiplied by 14. So can you see how I'm taking that first row from A, multiplying it by the first column in B, and then it's 1000 multiplied by 3. Okay, so that's element row 1, column 1. So what I'm going to do now is move to row 2 in element A and still working on column 1 in matrix B. So it's going to be 0 multiplied by 15 plus 0 multiplied by 14 plus 1300 multiplied by 3. Okay, taking the third row in column A and multiplying it, still working in column 1 in matrix B, so being methodical about it. So we're taking 150, multiplying that by 15. Add that to 175 multiplied by 14. And add that lastly to 1000 multiplied by, running out of room, 3. Beautiful. Okay. Now we're taking row 4, multiplying it by column 1. So we've got 100 multiplied by 15. Add that to 150 multiplied by 14. Add that to 700 multiplied by 3. So again, we simply work that through to get all our answers, and that will give us column 1 for our answer matrix. We go on and we run out of room, oh golly, but we have to perform the process then for row 1 of A with column 2, row 2 of A with column 2 of B, row 3 of A by column 2 of B, row 4 of A with column 2 of B, and so on and so forth until we've worked it through. For a matrix of this size, I would be quite happy for you to put it in your calculator. So if you can actually do that and pull up the solution, that would be excellent. So if you could work on that now. Okay, so what we've got is hopefully your answers match the working that's here. So what we've got is spring running in this column and this row. And what we're looking for are the highlighted elements here. And what that actually is going to give us, so that's where winter and winter intersect. And that actually gives us the total rent collected during that season. So for spring, it was 7,700, summer 10,400, and so on and so forth. So if we wanted to find the total income for the first year, we would simply sum those 4 amounts together. As you can see on the left of the screen here, it will sum to 28,850. Hopefully that's all made sense and worked for you. If it hasn't, don't hesitate to shoot me an email and we can go over it.